make sure that we're spiritually grounded, and we also want to get politically grounded. By political, I don't mean the kind of politics, the kind of games that people like Eric Garcetti like to play. I'm not talking about politics as is practiced by people like Joe Biden. By political, I mean the true sense of politics, which is power. Which is power. So we need to be grounded in our own power. We need to understand the moment that we're in and what moments we still have to usher in. I was speaking with a journalist a couple of days ago, and she said, "How do you feel about the verdict?" This is a nice bookend to Black Lives Matter. I said, bookend? We ain't nowhere near done. Are y'all done? Are y'all done? What happened on Tuesday was an affirmation of our power. It affirmed that the struggles we've been engaging in bear fruit. But we can't feed ourselves off of one piece of damn fruit. We're making sure that even as we celebrate, and it's important that we take time to celebrate the steps forward, to celebrate every victory, and I do see Tuesday as a victory. It's not the victory. It's a victory. It's not the victory. And so it's really important that we take time to celebrate, because this struggle can feel burdensome. It can feel heavy if we don't take that time to see each other and to celebrate our work. So, tenacity and Pastor Q, I'm grateful for y'all. Karina and Sam and everybody who formed that circle, I'm grateful for y'all. We're grateful for y'all. Because we have to celebrate. We can't lose the humanity that they try to steal from us in the midst of our struggle. Celebration is about remembering our humanity and the humanity that we see in each other, right? So we're taking moments to celebrate. Let's celebrate. Celebrate each other just for a minute. Celebrate each other. Look at each other and celebrate each other just for a minute. Is that the sound of celebration? What does celebration sound like? Y'all can get louder than that. Y'all can get louder than that. I see y'all. I see you. Do you see each other? Everyone who's here is here because Spirit pulled us into this space. Because George Floyd's spirit pulled us into this space. Because Breonna Taylor's spirit pulled us into this space. Because Ahmaud Arbery's spirit pulled us into this space. And because Waukesha Wilson's spirit pulled us into this space. Kenny Watkins' spirit pulled us into this space. We're here because we have a sacred duty to be here. And so we have to see each other for heeding the call of Spirit. Ashe? And as we celebrate each victory, as we see each other, let us also affirm that we're going to continue to struggle forward together. This ain't no damn bookend. It might be the turning of a page, but it's not no damn bookend. And so if you remember the last time we were in Pan Pacific Park, the entire park was full of people. You remember that? Tens of thousands of people came out. And some people will say, well, there's not tens of thousands of people today. No, there's a lot of people out, right? But there's not tens of thousands of people today. But we have to remember that transformation has never come because of the millions that are in the streets. It's come because of those of us who are committed for the long struggle, or the long haul. last year out in the streets, it was sometimes just a handful. So let's pledge to be that handful when it's needed. Let's pledge to have the vision that UDP Newton had, to have the vision that Fred Hampton had, to have the vision that Mama Harriet Tubman had, that Minister Malcolm had, the courage to be in the streets when there are not tens of thousands or millions of people at your back, and sometimes it's just a handful. We have to also remember that while Tuesday was a victory, we have to dare to be visionaries. Visionaries mean, to be a visionary means being unafraid to say, no, in George Floyd's name, we gonna not only defund the police, let's say that. Defund the police! Defund the police! Defund the police! We're not just saying defund the police. We're saying that, and no matter what those politicians tell us that that's not a good slogan, that's a snappy slogan, and you know, they try to undermine our movement. So I don't know if you all have seen, and I don't plan to talk very long, it's just, I need to say this. These fools are trying to appropriate our language and ideas without substance. So Garcetti and his whack-ass wife, Amy Wakeland, want to call the police on Black Lives Matter. Now it's up to at least 82 times. 82 times. They want to call the police on us, but then they want to steal our language about reimagining. They want to pretend as if they believe in participatory budgeting. I don't know if you've seen that they're shopping around different areas of the city and saying, oh, we want to hear from you. Look, we've been asking you to sign a participatory budgeting pledge for more than a year. So you want to pretend like you care about participatory budgeting and pretend like you were forced into that by Black Lives Matter and the People's Budget LA Coalition? That's some bullshit. So we want to be real clear that we don't mean this in just words. When we say defund the police, we don't mean pretend, get on in front of some damn cameras and say, that's why I'm committed to cutting LAPD budget $150 million and adding another $100 million for the support of Black communities, and then didn't give shit to Black communities. That's what Eric Garcetti did. That's why we got a whole chant about his ass, because it is fuck Garcetti. And he got me cussing during Ramadan. Okay, I'm gonna stop cussing during Ramadan. It's important that we're unafraid to say defund the police and mean it. But it's also important that when we say defund the police, I'm going to give you a history of that phrase. We came up with that phrase because we thought it was more palatable to folks than saying what we really mean, which is abolish that whole shit. What we mean is abolish the police. That's what we mean. We mean snatch their bags so they can't do shit. We mean get rid of them altogether. We mean what Mama Harriet meant when she said abolish chattel slavery. We mean shut the whole thing down. We mean we keep us safe. Ain't nobody up in this camp ever felt safer because police pulled up behind you in traffic. Rescue me if I'm wrong. We know that we keep us safe. We keep us safe. We become safe when we spend our dollars on housing, because those are our dollars. We become safe when we want. We become safe. Raise that up. Our babies on that picture, lift it up. Lift up Makia and Adam. Police didn't keep that baby, 13-year-old Adam Toledo, safe. Police didn't keep Makia Bryant, who needed help. They didn't keep her safe. You know what would have kept them safe? Is building strong communities. We gotta remember when we say this is a spiritual movement, how does God not compel us to protect our children? To beat back the police that steals their lives? We are duty bound to do this work. To say it's not just about Derek Chauvin going to prison, and we want him in prison, because as long as there are prisons, Derek Chauvin and all the cops who are like him belong in prison and in general population within those prisons. But we know that God was revealing to us it's not enough for Derek Chauvin to go to prison, because in the midst of it all, Dante Wright was stolen. In the midst of it all, Makia Bryant was stolen. Adam Toledo was stolen. Anthony Thompson was stolen. What's his first name? Andrew Brown. Andrew Brown was stolen. We know that right here in Los Angeles, yesterday they shot and killed somebody. Now, LAPD has a huge PR machine. There was a reason we don't know the name of the person who was stolen right here. Bet you most of y'all didn't know they just killed somebody yesterday, did you? We have to remember that as long as this system, as long as this institution is in place, it will continue to steal the lives of our people. We just looked at each other. We just saw each other. If you see each other, and if you see our babies, if you see our mothers and fathers and sisters and brothers and community members, we are duty bound to topple this system and to build something new. Abolition means two things. It means upending the entire system. It means, and I hope Kendrick will remind me of the Bible verse you always say about rotten fruit comes from a rotten tree. Am I getting it kind of right? Kind of. He'll say it later. And that rotten tree is in a rotten orchard that has to be completely bulldozed. And after we bulldoze it, we gon', what do? Till the soil, right? We gonna till the soil. We gonna get rid of all the weeds. And then we're gonna use the space to plant new seeds. To plant new seeds. To produce healthy trees. Trees like housing. Trees like healthcare. Trees like liberatory models of education. Trees like communities built in love. Trees like spaces where creativity and spirituality flourish. We can do that. What they're trying to say when they say that there's a bookend on Black Lives Matter, what they're trying to say is don't you dare vision and build something else. But we have to be courageous enough to vision and build something else. To not wait for politicians to give us a nod, right? They've never led. All they care about is their own narrow interests. The people lead. The people can usher in new worlds. And we can and will build a new world that's built in our own radical imaginings of what is fit for the inhabitants of our people, of our children, and the generations to come. We can have it, we will have it, and that's what we're building right here, right now. Ashe.